Yeah. Alright, we got a new set of fives. We still got the same regional champion. So, you only got 2 of them in the last batch.
Yeah. It's alright, I'm gonna go 5 for 5 this time. I think I'm getting better at this.
Okay, so, let's look at this guy.
Oh wow, 15. 15,000!
Level 7, Susanamon.
You may digivolve this card onto one of your tamers as if the tamer is a level 6 Digimon by placing 10 tamer cards and or cards with hybrid in their traits from your hand and or trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so this thing is enormous. When it takes 3 security cards if it hits them directly.
Yeah.
And when you digivolve it, it deletes your opponent's Digimon. Okay, so that's a pretty insane amount of setup, because these decks are 50 cards, right?
Yeah.
So you need a tamer in play.
Yeah.
And then you have to pitch 10 more cards from either your hand or trash and put them on the bottom. So
at least you won't deck out.
Well, like, I could see this being a finisher if there's, like, some sort of, like, self-mill archetype in Digimon where it's like, I'm going to chuck a bunch of cards into trash, or I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, and then it's like, okay, this is essentially playing it for free because I have a glut of cards I can play. So, if there's any, like, in Magic, there's archetypes like Dredge, which are designed to...
I'm just going to do that.
Just puke cards into the yard. And it uses them to do pretty unfair things. So I could see this being one of the unfair things you do. The alternative is, like, that archetype doesn't exist. And... especially because it wants you to have hybrid cards. Like, I assume everyone's playing a decent chunk of tamers. But
yeah, a good deck will have at least one Tamo. I don't know how many copies of what you want, but...
yeah, okay.
But you're gonna have a Tamo in practically any Digimon deck.
Yeah. Okay, so that is 10 tamers. So that might be steep for the average deck, I guess, is what you're saying.
You would have to dedicate for an actual hybrid deck.
Okay, so you have to be playing hybrid stuff, because that's more likely to have than tamers. Okay, but either way, it is enormous. This is the biggest thing I've seen so far by, like, 10,000.
Yeah, that's actually, like... that's either the max printed cost, 15, or there might be some 16s that...
Okay, so right now I'm playing Modern, right? And there's a deck in Modern called... various decks that play Emrakul, but there's one of them called Eldrazi Breach, and it plays a card called Emrakul... the Aeon's Torn, and it's a 15/15. It's the biggest creature in Magic. And this is a lot like that, where I feel like if you ever resolve this, your opponent just loses. Because no matter how good their board is, you get to take the best part out of it. You get to nuke their Digimon. If you ever connect with it, it's very likely to kill them. Or put them so close to dead that it functionally doesn't matter. And it can never really lose a fight.
Yeah.
So...
it will have to tie.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that card is pretty good, but I'm not gonna say that it was banned. I just think that this is a good card, but I'm pretty sure you can play as many copies as you want.
Well, it's never been banned. To be honest, at my locals, we haven't had a lot of people play with this, but I feel like in Japan it did have more popularity until something happened. One of his supports got taken out.
Ah, so he's the victim of a banning. But it this is a good card, assuming you can pay its cost.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, even, like, dedicated hybrid decks, they may, like, be, like, the red hybrid, they'll go in, like, Emperor Greymon or Ancient Greymon. There's an Ancient Greymon OTK deck.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really need this if they're already
Right.
taking out 5 security in one shot. This may be a more control style, maybe like a yellow hybrid where you're replenishing your security.
I
More
see.
like wait out long enough to be able to like just come out with this big guy.
Okay, so there's no way to cheese the cost, though, really. Like,
there is there's a support Digimon called Bukumon.
uh-huh.
He's a little guy from the show, and he'll give you 2 memory back from digivolving off from a table.
Okay.
There is cards like win rate 60%. You gotta discard a card, and it can decrease the cost by 4s.
Okay.
So it's like,
But it's not as easy to cheat out as maybe I thought, coming from Magic.
yeah, it's
Okay, so big cards hard to play. I will remember that. All right, what's up next?
okay.
But what do you think? Did I get that right or wrong?
Yeah, it's like a big Timmy corn.
Okay.
I feel like.
But it saw some tournament play.
Yeah, I think more in Japan than America.
It counts. I got that right. All right. Now we got Impmon though. Okay, this guy's pretty weak, and he's a level 2.
3.
He's a level 3. When this Pokemon has Beelzemon in his name, he gets 3,000. Okay. When this card is trashed from your deck, if it wasn't trashed by another
copy of him.
Yeah. You can trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Okay. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Beelzemon in its name and 1 I and Mako among them to your hand. Place the remaining... This card is bad.
Really?
That's what I think, dude. You're committing to playing a Beelzemon deck.
Beelzemon.
But anyway, Beelzemon. And then... Yeah, this... I don't know. This seems weird. It is very weak for something that you have to evolve. And
But
you're
he's
milling
from-
yourself.
Yeah, milling.
I mean, I remember this guy from the show. He was
Yeah.
pretty rad there, but I think he sucks in the game. They did this character dirty. That card's terrible.
He's limited.
What? For what? Oh,
For
I mean,
milling.
I guess.
For milling.
I mean, maybe you could do something dumb like this, where it's like, but
That kind of.
it just seems so bad.
Yeah, I was hoping you'll see a connection that. Alright, to be fair, like, they were never played in the same deck. I was just trying to see if you would ever conceive of that idea. But he was playing in a Beelzemon deck.
Mm-hmm.
Beelzemon deck with the new starter deck. Likes milling a lot. Get a huge graveyard. The more in the trash, the better the effects.
Okay.
So you end up milling like two of these or so. You're milling 6 more.
Okay, so this is the dredge payoff, not
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, and then when there's a starter deck Impmon. If you have 20 cards in your trash, it can warp into Beelzemon.
Okay.
Ayamako can warp that Beelzemon into blast mode, so you're climbing up even more.
Mm.
There's also a Beelzemon that just digivolves from hand onto an Impmon, but it is mostly just the continuously milling. Because
Okay, so it's not necessarily its effect when it comes into play. It's its value within your deck.
yeah, like a lot of the Digimon in the deck would be like when digivolving mill the top 2 cards.
Mm.
I Am Marco says you can take a card from your hand, put it on the top of the deck. So when you Digivolve, you know what's on top of the deck, mill it, mill more.
Okay, alright. So that one I got wrong.
Yeah, so we'll just mill.
Alright, let's see. Oh, another 15,000. Jesus. This one's got way more text. Exomon. 15,000 for 15. It's level 6.
7.
Okay. DNA zero. What?
DNA
Digivolve
Digivolve.
unsuspended with the 2 specified Digimon stacked on top of each other. Okay, so this is like a fusion.
Yes. I guess it's more like an XYZ summon than a fusion.
Oh, okay, where you kind of like put them together?
Yeah, you have to have them both on the field. You're not using spell cards on the...
It's blue and green. You may place one green or blue Digimon with Draymon in its name from your hand under this Digimon as its bottom Digi evolution card. When DNA Digivolving, you may play one blue or green Digimon with Draymon in its name and 12,000 DP or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Okay, so this cheats costs. When this Digimon becomes suspended, unsuspended, and Oh, okay. Alright, so when it attacks, it untaps itself and then taps one of your opponent's things, and it lets you
attack again afterwards.
You get to put something under it and then use it to cheat out something else. Yeah. So it expands your board. On the other hand, like, I don't know how valuable that is, considering the fact that this is already a 15,000 thing. Like, how wide do you have to go when you have the best stat line? It's a hybrid, so it's you're committing a lot of resources. I'm gonna say this one's bad.
No, it's a good card. I mean, it's not. So, it's not banned or limited, but it's a good card. It's not limited or banned, but it did do a lot of.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay, well, I'm more right than not. It's not.
I guess the category is, was it banned or not? So you're right that it's not banned or limited.
All right, I'm nailing these 15,000s. All right,
but it did terrorize a lot of people.
Okay, so like good, but not good enough.
Yeah.
Not too good. All right, we have a 12,000. Our first 12,000. Imperial Draymon Dragon Mode.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so this is the first time I've seen the counter blast Digivolve. That's good. I know that's good. It's also a 12,000 for 7, which is undercosted. It taps one thing and untaps a thing when it enters. And when it becomes suspended, you may play a Tamer card or Digimon. Okay, this card is good. This card has got to be good because, oh, fuck. You do need very specific things because you need Pale Draymon and Dino Beamon.
Or any blue/green level 5. So...
Oh, okay.
You can just do the regular requirements of either a blue or a green. It's cheaper.
Yeah, but I think you definitely want to be able to blast Digivolve. Yeah. Like that's what's making this good. Because you can play it during combat and screw up their comp. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that this card is it's an ace.
But is it the ace of your deck?
I don't think so. I think that this card is good, but I think this is kind of the same thing as this, where it's good, but this isn't ban worthy. Okay. I imagine there's things that are a lot more cracked than just suspending and unsuspending things when they like Digivolve. Like the things that are banned that have blast Digivolve, I think are going to be like I will be able to see that card is broken. What do you think?
It's not banned or limited. But I like it. I tried to work with it. I know a Imperial Digimon deck did top a recent regional at time of recording. But it had a higher end, the Paladin mode, instead of this
Dragon
guy.
mode. All right, cool. So I'm close.
Yeah. So what was this category again? Just being wrong.
I was just wrong.
These are, they were not on the list.
Yeah. So let's look at our last one. Ooh, 0. Gain of memory. This is terrible. This is just a bad card. It is. Even though it costs 0 and you gain 1.
Yeah. You can have up to 4 copies. I mean, like, potentially.
Yeah, but I don't think you would do this. Like, here's the thing, right? It looks like a Mox.
Yeah.
In Magic the Gathering, there are the Moxen, and the Moxen are cracked.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a Mox. I think this is probably one of those cards that there might be some decks that
blue decks
that benefit from playing 4 of these so they can like turbo out something big early. But these cards can be a bad top deck early. The security cost doesn't let you play it for free, although it does basically do the same thing.
I mean, technically, the security gives you more memory than just playing it.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
I'm going to say that this card is not banned.
But what if my opponent is attacking and my opponent is at 1 or 0? And that's the first thing that popped out of security. The turn ended just in that one attack. Is that not worth consideration?
This is not a good card.
It is not a good card?
It is not a good card.
It's garbage?
Yeah. Am I right?
No!
Really?
It's limited.
Oh, this is limited. Okay, so the Moxen are good.
Also, this came from Starter Deck 2? Yeah, 2. All the way Starter Deck 2.
And
Limited.
Still banned.
Well, it became limited in the last update to the ban list. It became limited.
Well, okay. Well, that just goes to show you folks that fast mana is always good. If you can play it, you should.